What makes a conqueror truly great? Is it the vastness of the lands they conquered? The lasting legacy they left behind? Or maybe it's the sheer audacity of their vision to reshape the world? These are the questions that have puzzled historians for centuries. Today we're diving into the lives of 5 of the greatest conquerors in history, men whose ambitions knew no limits and whose conquests still echo through time. From the plains of Mongolia to the heart of Europe, these 5 figures, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Cyrus the Great, Attila the Hun, and Napoleon Bonaparte have shaped the world as we know it. But here's the real question: what would you have done differently if you were in their shoes? Let's find out. Number 1. Genghis Khan, the unstoppable force. We begin our journey with Genghis Khan, the man who rose from nothing to build the largest contiguous empire in history. Born as Temujin on the harsh Mongolian steppe, he transformed a loose group of nomadic tribes into the fearsome Mongol Empire. So how did he do it? Genghis was a master of strategy, employing swift cavalry and innovative tactics that confused and overwhelmed his enemies. His secret weapon: loyalty. Genghis promoted based on merit, not birth, ensuring that only the most capable leaders surrounded him. Did you know? It's said that Genghis Khan's army could ride 70 miles a day, almost twice as far as their enemies could march. But it wasn't just about war. Genghis Khan established trade routes, created the famous Pax Mongolica, bringing relative peace and stability across Asia, and even promoted religious tolerance. His empire stretched from China to Europe, covering almost 12 million square miles. Imagine being the ruler of that much land. How would you even begin to manage it? Now, could Genghis Khan have conquered even more if he lived longer? Tell me in the comments what you think. Next up, Alexander the Great, the man who never lost a battle. At just 20 years old, he ascended to the throne of Macedonia, and over the next decade, he would build one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from Greece to India. Alexander's brilliance wasn't just in his tactics, but in his vision. He didn't just want to conquer lands, he wanted to unite cultures. His strategy of spreading Greek culture, known as Hellenization, blended the East and West in ways that still influence our world today. Here's an interesting tidbit: Alexander named over 20 cities after himself, most famously Alexandria in Egypt, which became a center of learning and culture. But get this, he even named a city after his horse, Bucephalus. Now that's true friendship. Imagine being in Alexander's shoes, leading armies through deserts, mountains, and enemy territories, never knowing if you'd make it back alive. Would you have kept going, or would you have stopped while you were ahead? Number 3. Cyrus the Great, the benevolent conqueror. Cyrus the Great is a name that often flies under the radar, but he shouldn't. Founder of the Achaemenid Empire, which became the first Persian Empire, Cyrus was unique because he wasn't just a conqueror, he was a liberator. Cyrus believed in tolerance and human rights. When he conquered Babylon, he famously freed the Jewish people from captivity and allowed them to return to their homeland. His respect for the cultures and religions of those he conquered set him apart from many other rulers of his time. Fun fact: the Cyrus Cylinder, often considered the first charter of human rights, describes his efforts to improve the lives of his subjects. Even today, leaders point to Cyrus as a symbol of wise and just leadership. But here's a question: could someone like Cyrus rise to power in today's world? Would his approach of tolerance and respect work, or would it be seen as a weakness? Let's talk about it in the comments. Number 4. Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God. Attila the Hun, known as the Scourge of God, struck terror into the heart of Europe in the 5th century. Leading the Huns, a nomadic group from Central Asia, Attila's campaigns against the Roman Empire earned him a fearsome reputation. What made Attila so dangerous? He was unpredictable. His army moved with speed and ruthlessness, attacking cities, plundering and leaving destruction in their wake. His enemies were left scrambling, never sure where he would strike next. Here's a wild story: at one point, Attila demanded the hand of a Roman princess in marriage and half the Western Roman Empire as her dowry. Now that's one bold negotiation. But despite his terrifying reputation, Attila's empire didn't last long after his death. What do you think? Was Attila's power built too much on fear? Could he have created a lasting empire if he had ruled differently? Share your thoughts. Finally, we have Napoleon Bonaparte, the man who reshaped Europe in his image. Rising to power in the wake of the French Revolution, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France and embarked on a series of wars that would forever change the map of Europe. Napoleon was a genius in the art of war, with his ability to outthink and outmaneuver his opponents. He employed rapid movement, surprise attacks, and the careful use of artillery to win battles against often larger forces. Here's something fun: people often say Napoleon was short, but at 5'6", he was actually average height for his time. His enemies just loved to spread that rumor to make him seem less imposing. Despite his military genius, Napoleon's ambitions eventually led to his downfall. His invasion of Russia was a disastrous misstep, and after a series of defeats, he was exiled not once, but twice. Imagine being one of the most powerful men in Europe only to lose it all. Could he have avoided that fate? What would you have done differently? So there you have it, 5 of the greatest conquerors in history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Cyrus the Great, Attila the Hun, and Napoleon Bonaparte. Each left their mark in different ways, but all of them changed the course of history. Now it's your turn. Who do you think was the greatest conqueror of all time? Did we miss someone you think should be on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get the discussion started. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And as always, thanks for watching.